Hey. Welcome to Touchdown and Tackles. I'm your host, Chris. So we had two major trades go down recently in the NFL. One of them, obviously we knew was going to happen. They just had to wait until after June 1st because that was in regards to the salary cap. But you have the Myles Garrett trade. The Browns trading Myles Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams. Now you want to talk about a team that was in the NFC Championship game last season, one game away from the Super Bowl. This offseason, they had already fixed their biggest issue, which was their secondary, specifically at cornerback. And then you go and trade for the best defensive player in all the NFL. And they already had a good to great pass rush. Obviously they gave up future picks, a first, a second, and a third, but again, it's Myles Garrett, so I would say, he's worth that. And honestly, I think what this does for the Rams is this does put a lot of pressure on them because then it can kind of put them in that category, Super Bowl or bust. But honestly, they're the Super Bowl favorites. I mean, they're as complete of a team that you'll see in all the NFL. But honestly, I like this trade for both sides because the Browns, who, as we know, they always seem like they're rebuilding. They did have a couple of years just recently, with Baker Mayfield and another year. And I think it was 2023 when when Joe Flacco came off the couch. But for the most part, they've always seemed like they're always just like in rebuild mode. But honestly, I think that the Browns also won the trade because they get Jared Verse, who is one of the best young pass rushers in all the NFL. So now their pass rush can stay good to great. And they got a lot of good young talent that they've drafted in these last two drafts, this past one and the one before. If Todd Monken and his staff can figure out that quarterback situation, the Browns could be a playoff type team. So, I think that both sides won. And then, you have the A.J. Brown trade to the Patriots. Like I said, that was going to happen after June 1st. They just, had to wait, because that dealt with salary cap. The Patriots, yes, they did give up a future first round draft pick. Not sure if A.J. Brown's worth that, but hey, what that does for the Patriots is it gives them that go-to guy, that you can, in go-to moments, you could just throw it up and he'll go and get it. He's great at contested catches. He's great over the middle of the field, which is a great part of Josh McDaniels' offensive system. He can go down the field. He can win at all three levels. And so what that does is that takes all the other receivers that they have, and obviously with the addition of Romeo Doubs in free agency, it puts them in better positions of where they are on the depth chart. Romeo is a number 2. He's a high-end number 2 with number 1 potential. If Kayshon Boutte doesn't get traded, he was their number 3. You got the veteran in Mac Hollins, that big X receiver. You got the young Kyle Williams who's developing. And you got Pop Douglas. Like, they have a deep receiving core at the end of the day. So, these trades were good for all parties involved. Philadelphia, they get draft capital, which Howie Roseman loves. So, yeah, these were good trades, and I like them. And we're going to see how they produce this season. So, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.